Hello, we are back with our third solo episode of the season. I am here today to unravel the mystery around values. We have looked at who you are in our personal brand episode of the podcast, and we have looked at how you show up with our visibility episode of the podcast. And today we're going to look at what you stand for with your values. It's such an important part of the foundation, the big picture, and for it help us to get from A to B in terms of our business goals, our dreams. Just being absolutely authentic and true to who you are, who you want to be, and those values, those core values. You are listening to the Showbiz Side Hustle podcast, powered by PerformerPreneur. So have you ever sat down and thought about what they are? What are your values? In fact, it's a starting point for most businesses, and it's going to help you get to where you want to be and build your business of your dreams, to turn the who and the why and the what into the absolute essence and the brilliance that is because of those values that live really deep within. Now, please don't confuse this topic of core values with aspirational values. So let me just give you a little bit of an insight into that so that we can jump into this episode really clear and really understanding what it is we want to achieve and why we want to dig up those core values so we can use them for our vision and our mission and all of those things that help us build our brand and our business. An aspirational value, however, is something that is missing. It's something you feel you need to succeed. It's something that you're going to build on, you're looking for, or you've got a lack of, but you know that it's essential for your next big level or your next big dream. So they're your aspirational values, and you can hear that in the word aspirational. It's what you want to be, it's what you want to become, it's what you're aiming for, it's your North Star. But your core values, that's something that's much more rooted, deeper. It's already there. It's who you are, and your core values are key. So we're going to go through the episode quickly. We're going to understand what those core values are, and then I'm going to give you a little task so that you can unlock them, you can discover them, and we'll be able to use those values in your business from day one, as soon as you've pinned them down. So a core value is the fundamental belief of you as a person. And you can also do your business core values. So have a little look at that. Business values, personal values. But fundamentally, it's the belief. It's who you are. It's what you are already doing and the things that are absolutely deep rooted. They're guiding principles. They dictate your behavior. They help you understand the difference between right and wrong. You have core values from your childhood. You have core values from your schooling, from your education, from your relationships. They're built into us. They come from experiences, and they help us to navigate life, be that business or personal. And if you understand and relate to and unlock and use those values, your core values, you will be able to navigate decisions, be it in business and in life. You'll be able to think really clearly and consider what you want to do next based on the values and the things that you truly believe and that you truly are. And you'll just create an unwavering guide. That's what they're there for. It's the path that is going to get you to where you want to be. And it determines lots of things, the highs and the lows, the good and the bad. And as a performerpreneur, as a performer, as a creative entrepreneur, as a person, if you know your values, if you understand where they've come from and where they're taking you, you'll be able to navigate the journey with so much more clarity and ease. And that is, it's a beautiful place to be. So ask yourself, what is the ultimate goal? What do you want to accomplish with your showbiz side hustle, with your life, with your business? And then imagine the kind of legacy that you want to leave. Do all of these things interlock? I'm sure they absolutely do. And it will be the values that are building that block together, that are creating that really strong foundation. And they will all meet. And those core values are what we need to understand and to pull out, and they will help us to move, as I say, from A to B. They'll just align, they'll feel true, and they will just help manifest and create your biggest dreams. Your core values are, first and foremost, the easiest way to think of them are words. They're words that you feel internally. They excite you. You can hear in my voice today how much they excite me. And they may include things like integrity, respect, compassion, fun, loyalty, authenticity, reliability, optimism. There's so many words that you could consider. In fact, sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming. There's just too many words that relate. And your list of core values will be as unique as you are. They're individual to you, and they will and they can change as you evolve, as you grow. They'll be different as a performer to what they are when you're a performerpreneur, to a mother, to a father, to a business owner. So I really want you to know that these are not set in stone. They will always be in you, but other ones will pop up and have more value at different points in your life. They will guide you through different decisions and different crossroads. And that's absolutely okay. They do change over time, but your core values build and evolve and become you. So observe the values that you feel today. Have a little exploration of what they might have been, 5 or 10 years ago. You'll be able to notice this in yourself if you give yourself time to delve in and explore and think and understand what they were, what they are, and what, the potential they have to make you who you are next and where you're going and what you'll become. By understanding and identifying your core values, as I say, you're going to mirror these in your everyday life. You're going to lean on them. You're going to use them. You're not going to kind of forget and disregard them. And if they're really important to you, then they absolutely should be forefront of everything you do. Another thing that you can do when it comes to values is observe and mirror other people's that you admire, that you look up to. You can reflect and see if their core values resemble things that you feel and do. And it's just a really lovely way of understanding how important they can be and how some people lead with them and some people lose them. And you want to be somebody that leads and understands and holds close your values, because that is what people will see. And when people see and know, like, and trust you and can see and mirror your values, they will buy into your product and service and your business and your dream, and you will build the community, the ecosystem that is going to help you thrive and become all that you deserve to be. So, in case it helps, I'm just going to give you a little example of my core values. I have 2 businesses, as you know, Manic Stage Productions, my 21-year-old business in the entertainment industry. The core values that I have sat with and that I am encompassing and that I am guided by are professionalism, creativity, collaboration, uniqueness, and versatility. And when I am approached with a client or a concept, and I'm at that moment of, does this feel like it's the next project for me? Does it feel aligned? Am I excited by it? I can tap into these values and check that they tick those boxes. Is it a professional gig? Is it a professional setup? Does it show me at my most professional? Is it creative? Am I getting to do and be and create in the way that I am best and that I love? And collaborative, it's a big one for me in both businesses, in fact. But is it a collaborative project? Does it have the energy of all the people involved, or is it solely kind of pushed onto me and Manic Stage Productions? And I find that I enjoy the work I do the most when it's collaborative and the people are all excited and bringing their ideas to the table. And are those ideas unique? Yeah, I don't want to be copying or doing the same thing as the next person. So I like to bring my own unique twist. And if it's too kind of done, then it might not be the gig or the contract for me. And versatile, is it allowing me to express and to change and to showcase and to try? So there are a few of the core values, and you'll notice there was 5 words there because they actually say, who are they? I don't know, but there's a guideline that 3 to 5 values are really helpful in pinning down all of those relatable words and those feelings. And remember, every feeling is a clue. So if you feel these things, it's probably one of the values that's trying to pop up and be heard and be seen. PerformerPreneur. 6 years, PerformerPreneur has been up and running since the pandemic. It is growing and growing, and these words have changed too. And I'm going to give you the 5 core values that I lean into day to day with the running of PerformerPreneur. Encouraging, optimistic, accessible, valuable, and relatable. And hopefully you can see those words within all of the things that I do with PerformerPreneur. I am always trying to encourage people to explore, to get curious, to try, to ask, to do. I'm always optimistic. You know, there is a light that has got your name on it. You are going to step into a spotlight and you are going to shine on the other side of the stage door. I know that, and I try to relay that in the most positive and optimistic way, because I don't want people to be fearful of that next chapter, of that next leap, of that next step. Accessible. I have got high price point products, I've got low price point products, I've got free products, and that's because I want to be accessible. I've got group programs, one-to-one, voice notes, in-person meetups, networking, retreats. So accessible. I'll meet you where you are, and that's a big value of mine. Valuable is what I share valuable. Can you take something from it and run with it straight away? There's no gatekeeping where I am. And hopefully you can hear that in the podcast, in the book, on the socials. It's all of these things intertwined: encouraging, optimistic, accessible, and valuable. And the recent word that I added is relatable. And when I talk about your values changing and different values coming up to the surface and prompting you to be more and to show more and to say more in that area, relatable was one that came up for me recently, because I see a lot of people doing a lot of wonderful things when it comes to coaching, but they're becoming unrelatable to me. And I've noticed and noted, and they become aspirational to me. And that's something that guides me. And I think, oh gosh, one day I'd love to be flying on a private jet and buying all the Gucci and Chanel. But right now it's not really where I am. And that gap gets wider and feels like it's unrelatable. And so then I start looking for other coaches or other North Stars, or other advice that feels like it's more where I'm at. And that became a value that I could see and feel for myself, and I wanted to inject that value into PerformerPreneur where we are now. Am I relatable? I'm back in the UK. I'm not living overseas anymore. Let's show people more of my life here that you guys can relate to and understand. I'll show more of my performer side. I'll show more of my parenting side. I'll show more of my living in the UK and being relatable. And so that's just a core value that's come up for me that I've injected into my visibility, into my messaging, into my marketing, and hopefully you can see some of those values pop up for both businesses. And it's maybe hopefully made you intrigued about what your own values are and how they can guide your messaging, your vision, your mission. So keep an eye on that. There's, as I say, the option to have as many values as you like, but they do say that 3 to 5 is optimal, and they can move around. You can change them to different 5, 4, 3, add one in, take one out, as and when things in your life and your work and your business is evolving. So how do we get to those 5 core values that we can live and breathe and build on? My advice would be to grab a pen and paper and sit down and brain dump all of the words, and there'll be hundreds of words that you can feel and you can think, and you've seen, and they're a great place to start. Whack them down. There's no right or wrong answer. There may be 10, there may be 100, but we're looking for 3 to 5. So once you have brain dumped all of those wonderful words, all of those bits of you, and they are yours and they are unique and they will feel exciting. But I think you'll start to see that there's kind of a few general categories, words that have slightly different meanings but come under the same umbrella or bracket. And that will be the next step of this quick task. And when I say quick task, finding your values doesn't necessarily take a few moments. It can take a considerable amount of time depending on how much work you have unintentionally done on this through the process. But wherever you are in your business journey, your performer path, then please do take a moment to try to connect with what those values are, your core values. Write them down, brain dump them, categorize them, pop them into simple, smaller, more unified lists. And then you can identify the central theme of each category and choose your top 5 values from there. And that would be a very quick way of doing it. And then you can go deeper into those words. What do they mean? You can write them in a sentence to define each one so that you can really understand whether it is exactly how you feel, whether it's got substance and significance. And so you can do as much or a little around this as you want. But once you've got those values, you can see very quickly how you can use them to showcase your business better, to draw people into knowing you better and to trusting you. And something happened a couple of years ago now, but it happens quite regularly, but it's in the book. Let's just stop there and give you a little quick advert for the book so that you can hear all about how that can help you. If you're evolving from performer into entrepreneur, whether your showbiz side hustle is just taking shape or already building momentum, this is the roadmap for you. The Showbiz Side Hustle Handbook is exactly what I wish someone had handed me when I started my business journey 20 years ago. Inside, I guide you through my PerformerPreneur success strategy, including identifying your transferable skills, understanding your ideal client, positioning yourself as an authority in your niche, and building visibility so you can show up confidently and consistently. It's practical, it's honest, and it's written specifically for performers navigating the entertainment industry now and what lies beyond it. If you're ready to increase your income, support your industry career, and secure your future, grab your copy of my best-selling book, The Showbiz Side Hustle Handbook, via the link in the show notes below. And back here to the podcast, do go download the book. It's going to have all of this and more locked inside of it with some tasks. But let me just explain what is in the book in terms of values and a moment that happened that really did light me up. It was when a client and I had worked on their core values. We'd gone through a workshop together, a one-to-one, and she was super happy that she'd identified the core values she was going to use to build upon, to showcase herself and her vision and her mission better. And to then receive a testimonial from one of her own clients that incorporated 4 of the 5 words that she had written down with me, just really emphasized how amazing that process of recognizing them, building on them, delivering from that point and that place and that authenticity to use your values as part of the vision and the marketing and the just showcasing who you are, to then have those words written inside a testimonial celebrating all of the things that she wanted to be known and seen as, was a really kind of validating moment. And that is when you know that you are building a business that is aligned with your core. Too many people are building businesses or being visible unauthentically, doing what they are maybe told or taught to do, that aligns with other people's values, other people's ethics, other people's visions, and other people's models. And it then doesn't translate to the audience that you're wanting to attract, and you don't bring in the ideal client of your dreams. So hopefully this episode is going to take you a few steps back, but it's going to propel you forward in terms of your visibility that we spoke about last time, both on and offline. And in terms of your personal brand, we did touch on values in your personal brand. Who do you who are you? Who do you want to be? There's aspiration, and then there's core, and it's mixing all of that together, and it's showing up and showing that light, shining that light, and showing your inner light effectively, so that people really know, like, and trust, and your business will grow and be excitable. And I think you can hear in my own voice that it has certainly held me in good stead. It's certainly helped me build 2 fantastic businesses that I jump out of bed to implement and to work in and on every single day, because it's true. It's based on my core values. It's bringing me the people that understand and relate and can mirror who I am and what I want to achieve. And there's no right or wrong answer. You are you, but just make sure that you are taking all of these wonderful pieces of you, to build that brand, to build that visibility, to build your values and showcase who you are successfully. And then you will absolutely fly with your showbiz side hustle. I absolutely have no doubt. And if you need me, there's always a way to work with me. As I said, high and low ticket offers. Come into my world, drop into my DM, send me an email, go explore the website. There's free things on there. There's things you can sign up for. There's a WhatsApp chat. There's a membership. Really, I applaud those that have done this already, and I want it to be you next. So come and join me. Hopefully you have enjoyed this episode. I will see you back next week for the Q&A episode. So if you have a question for one of the associates, please do drop it over on the website. Go click on the associate tab down, have a little exploration of who's there and what you can ask, and then send me the email, the voice note, and I will get that answered for you next week. In the meantime, have a fantastic week. Go do this work. Find it over on my Instagram channel. I'll pop a little thing up there so that you can click on that and understand what the task could be. Find some time, use that, and go build the business of your dreams. Big love. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining me here on the Showbiz Side Hustle podcast. So until next time, please do take a little bit of action, that very first step, and make sure that you are doing something for you and your showbiz side hustle this week to move you forward and get you heading quickly and swiftly and strategically towards success.